Hello, Lynn. Oh, Jasmine, hello. Very lovely to see you both. Hello, Sam. How are you all doing? Hello, Vicky. Heather. Oh, it's the A-team in tonight. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. Oh, gosh. Trish, hello. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone. Welcome. Good to see you. San, thank you. I have just had a shower. I was feeling all a bit, have the day when you just, I thought, no, I'm going to go and have a shower, so I'm all fragrant. But I'll let you into a secret. I've got my gym jams on underneath this. So lovely to have everyone here. Kazi, hello. Nice to see you. Ben, nice to see you. My day's been all right, actually. I think it's been a game of two halves, safe to say. But yeah, it's been all right. How's your day been? How's everyone's day been? Oh, Trish, you sent me a rose. You are lovely. Thank you. Oh, lots of comments. Hello, Nikki. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. This morning I was a bit bleh, but I met up with some friends just online. I have run a peer support group, and it was really nice chatting with them, actually. It makes such a difference, doesn't it, when you can chat with people. So, yeah. Hello, Michelle. Lovely to see you. Gosh, oh, Lauren, it's so nice to have you here. Lauren Stubbington, welcome. And user 13642, hi, hello. Nice to see you. You've got a nice cup of tea. Well done, Trish. I have got a glass of water. I've got a Bombardier pint glass of water, just in case I get a dry mouth. But welcome. It's lovely to have you all here. Gosh. Are you in your PJs too? I'm in my PJs. Look, I'll stand up. I'll show you. Look, I felt like I was looking quite glamorous on top. But look, I've got my fluffy pyjamas on. Because I thought Friday night, as soon as I'm done chatting with everyone here, I've got my fire that's ready to be lit, and I'm going to sit in there in my lounge and have a relax. So that is a big pint, isn't it? It's a big pint, but it's only water. So, Brookeella, so you went travelling. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Where did you go? Oh, I love that. Amy. Oh, Amy. Gosh, I'm like darting all over the place because I can see people joining us, and it's so lovely to have you all. And I love getting feedback when people have sort of been on the live, and then you say, oh, I've done this and I've done that. So I'm so glad to hear that you went travelling. Jasmine, you're on the bike. So Jasmine did 20K last week on the live. So Jasmine's one of my moderators, and so she's moderating and exercising and everything. So, but you don't feel you've got 20K in you tonight. Well, that's okay. You don't have to do 20K. So let me introduce myself to you. If you don't know me, then I'm Sarah. I'm a therapist, a quest cognitive hypnotherapist, and cognitive hypnotherapy is a sort of a framework for all sorts of different therapies, really. It's partly NLP, partly hypnotherapy, partly positive psychology, partly all sorts of different things, really. We just focus on the needs of our clients, really, with kindness. And yeah, so Brookeella, you went to Spain, but I'm so chuffed that you went travelling and that you did it. So thank you so much for coming back and letting me know. It's really nice. Nadine, you're here. It's so lovely to see you. So nice. Welcome to everyone here. It's just so nice. I think that this is such a lovely community, and week after week, we see friends coming back here, and it does feel like that to me. Like, I know that I've never met any of you, but I found out yesterday, so I have a really wonderful team of moderators, and I'm sure you all know them by now because I know they all chat with you. So there's Lynn 250, there's Jasmine, there's Vicky, Vicky Hodgson, and I know that they all chat with one another. They chat with you, you chat with them. I'm sure you all follow one another, and I love it because having the moderators here, having the three of you here, really makes a difference because it means that this is a safe place and it's a community where people can drop in, come for the whole live, come for a bit of the live. So it's really nice because it's really important that this is a safe place. I think there's so much stress and difficulty in the world at the moment, isn't there? So if there's one little oasis in our worlds where we can be kind to one another and have a form of friendship, then that's really lovely. Maria, that's so kind of you, sending me gifts and stuff. It's really, really lovely. I don't expect it at all, but it's really kind. When I see it, I really appreciate it. Thank you. So Laura, you had an early bath, and you're in your PJs too. We could make this the Friday night pyjama club, couldn't we? Really? Yeah, Natalie, you can't beat fluffy PJs to get into. And Amy, you're going to the symphony. So Amy, for those of you who don't know, Amy has been with us since right at the beginning, and Amy lives in South Carolina, is really musical, sings in a choir, is really into her music. And so I love hearing all the stuff that you do, Amy. And you're going to the symphony tonight. I love that. So cool. Nancy, you're also in PJs. Excellent. That's so cool. I love it. Let's see, just having a look here. So you're going away for the weekend in 2 weeks, Amy. That's so nice. Really nice. Celebrating your mum's birthday. Is it a special birthday or is it just a birthday? Oh gosh, Megan, what's going on with you? I can see Lynn's chatting to you. Oh, I'll have a look out for that. So Harry's saying, well, how come I'm not primarily a CBT therapist? Because my training is in QCH. There's aspects of so many therapies that are really helpful, and I think people can sort of say, I'm a CBT therapist, I'm a counsellor, and with Quest we tend to take the best of all sorts of different therapies, so that if we have someone come to us, it's like, for example, with me, I'll be working with someone and we'll do aspects of positive psychology, for example, looking at what's the best moment of your day, that kind of thing, and then we'll do various different therapies, and then we'll get to a place and I'll think, do you know what would really help is schema therapy, and schema therapy is part of CBT. So I'd like to be able to pick the stuff that's going to really help my client, rather than just being very sort of constricted in what I'm allowed or able to use. So that's why I don't just use one modality, really. So I hope that explains a little bit. So yeah, that's the answer to that. So today I was kind of thinking I'll sort of chat, and if you've got anything you want to chat about, then that's lovely. I'll answer any questions you've got. Maybe we can chat about what we're going to be doing. Sort of looking at the positive stuff, because I think there's so much stuff about so much negativity, isn't there? And it's easy to go down a rabbit hole of really awfulness. So it's quite nice to just have a chat about nice things, really. So whatever you'd like to chat about, that's fine by me. I'll just do that. There's lots of comments that come flying through, so I'll do my best to keep up with things. And if you're only able to be here for a short amount of time, then just remember that I do these are always recorded and they are on my YouTube channel. So all of the lives I've done, they're all on my YouTube channel, which is Sarah Ayres Therapy, and there's a link to it through my profile, the link tree on there, just my YouTube. So you can go and find that. So you don't have to be stuck here all the time, although you're very welcome if you'd like to be. That would be really nice. So so let's have a look. Elizabeth Malmros, it's so nice to see you. How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope your friend is okay. Have you heard from him? Is he okay? I was concerned about that. So let's have a look. So let's have a look. So let's have a look. It goes through so quickly, doesn't it? And it's really difficult to keep up, because I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring any of your comments. Let's have a look. Oh, so Shona, you haven't got any plans for the weekend. So I was talking about that the other day, and this was something I was chatting with a client about, that it's really important to, my client called these joy bombs, to sort of have on your calendar, in your diary, to look ahead and go, okay, I'm going to just plan stuff so I've got good stuff to look forward to, so that you have time put aside, either, stuff like meeting with friends, or like today, I was thinking, what am I going to do? I'm feeling a bit, a bit lost really. And I went along to the cinema today. I just went and saw a film just by myself. But it was really nice. Took myself out of myself. And I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to plan going to the cinema to see films that I fancy. Stuff that perhaps my husband isn't interested in seeing. He likes... sorry to all the men on here. But, I personally get a bit fed up of... shooting up Marvel films and superheroes. I like to go and watch a bit of a weepy, or a bit of a film that makes me think a little bit. And I thought, well, I can do that if I can go along by myself. So I was just thinking, Shona, if you start to plan ahead, that can be really helpful, maybe. So have a think about that, and put little joy bombs in your calendar. So when you get to them, it's like, ooh, a little explosion of glitter and loveliness. So see if that works for you. So let me answer some questions, because I can see some questions. So Jay, you're asking, what is cognitive hypnotherapy? So I'll answer briefly, because if you look through my profile, there's a link tree. There's loads of stuff on my website about what cognitive hypnotherapy is. There's also the Quest Institute, where we train people to become cognitive hypnotherapists. There's lots of information on there. And then there's also My Quest Hub. So 3 areas there that you can look at to find out more about cognitive hypnotherapy. It's not traditional hypnotherapy. It's really a framework that covers lots and lots of different therapies, as I was saying, including NLP, positive psychology. We use aspects. We can use things like tapping, emotional freedom technique. I'm trying to think of all the things that we use, because they all kind of meld into one for me. But anyway, there's more information through my website and through that link on my profile. So do go have a look if you're interested. And if you wanted to train to be a QCH therapist, I'm the training manager. I'm not selling that course, but if you're interested in becoming one, then you can, maybe. So let's have a look. So Ellie's saying, any help about being afraid of germs? So I'm going to make a note of that, and I'm going to come back. Ollie Burton, so you're saying any tips for body dysmorphia? I have to say, I'm really sorry, but that's not an area that I know a great deal about. I don't want to talk about things that I don't want to guess about things, but my friend and colleague Julie Holland, she may well be, if you look at Julie Holland, she's on TikTok. She's only just got on here, but she might be someone that you could maybe contact about that, because she's pretty knowledgeable in those areas. But I'm sorry, I don't want to sort of be guessing about stuff. It's not an area that I really work in, so I'm sorry about that. Kezia, it's so lovely to see you. Welcome, Kezia. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. It's really nice to see you on this, well, it's a rainy Friday evening here in the UK. You's asking me what illnesses do I work with. So I work with anxiety is the main thing that I work with, but also the people that come and see me also maybe have fears, particular fears about things. And Ellie, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about your fear of germs. I'm going to talk about that, anxiety about germs. Also depression. I also work with people who have depression. But colleagues of mine who perhaps they've trained as QCH therapists and then they've gone further into specialisms will work with perhaps with working with addiction. Maybe they've done more work that it's more trauma informed than I am. I would say that I am trauma informed as a therapist, but it's not something that I think everything comes from trauma, from a significant emotional event. But I wouldn't probably label myself particularly as trauma informed. I want to do more training on that before I say that, probably. So I hope that helps a little bit. So Alex B, so you're saying how to help with confidence. So I'm making a note of that too, and I'll come back to that. Hopefully that's helpful. Gosh, loads of comments. I'm here, I'm here, you're here. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Welcome. Gosh, I love your page. You have such interesting stuff and you've been through so much. So welcome. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. Just seeing... Okay, I'm just seeing what other questions, just looking for one more question that I can answer. Nadine, do you know, I know the whole team loves the fact that you're here. I love that you went out for a walk yesterday, and that you're sort of getting out a bit more and that you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. So good on you. It's really great to see. So Lauren Stubbington, so let me write yours down. You always feel sick in the morning before you travel. Could be potentially hunger or anxiety. Any tips? So feeling sick in the morning. Okay. Right, let me get on and answer some questions. So what I do is I answer 3 questions and then I'll go dive back in and answer some more. Okay, so Ellie, that fear of germs, that being really worried about germs, it's really difficult, isn't it, when you have that fear, and it will have come from somewhere, from something, some event that's happened to make you feel afraid of germs. And although rationally you'll probably have lots of thoughts thinking, I know that I don't need to be afraid of germs, and you'll have probably done loads of research into it, but it's not our rational brains, it's not our conscious minds that are governing the feelings, because what happens is that our brain is scanning our environment all the time for potential threat, and something in the past has made you unconsciously and unconsciously believe that germs are of threat to you, and so you're constantly looking for scenarios where there might be germs and then trying to protect yourself from that. And so what we can do is to help ourselves to begin to feel a bit more safe is by creating what I always call an environment of safety, because with all sorts of protective behaviour, which can be anxiety, can be depression, can be things like persistent pain, it can be a protective behaviour. Our bodies are receiving signals from the world that we're in danger, And that belief can come from either the truth of our environment. Our environment can be a potentially dangerous environment, or we can be making matches with the past, thinking that there is a dangerous situation, and so that belief, we survive that situation, but our brain sort of keeps triggering us into protective behaviour because it's making matches with our everyday. Or perhaps we're looking into the future and we're imagining, oh, this might be going to happen to me, that might be going to happen to me, and that feels like it's going to be really dangerous. So we have this high level of adrenaline and cortisol being released into our bodies, and when it's to do with germs, germs are all around us all the time, aren't they? And if we believe that that's going to be really, really dangerous for us, then what a horrible place to be in, because our whole environment becomes a dangerous place for us. So to create an environment of safety as best we can by doing things like self-care. You'll see lots of my videos are about self-care, because with self-care, doing something that we really look forward to doing, we love doing, and we can look back on and think, oh, that was a lovely thing that I did. You get the release of the hormones that send the message to our nervous system, we're safe. So even if it's only for a moment here and there initially, those moments are oases of safety, oases of being in a place where our nervous system is flooded with the hormones that tell our system it's okay, you're all right here and now. The more we can do that lowers the level of adrenaline and cortisol. When we have a specific fear that's come from a specific occasion, event, it can be really helpful to work with a therapist, finding the right therapist who can take you back to that place, that event, and to be able to reframe it, to look at it and go, okay, this was a trauma that I went through. I lost trust in what my world was going to be like and how I was going to cope with the world and the way people around me coped with the world. And so it's about dealing with that trauma. So there's things that you can do in the moment to help lower those levels of adrenaline and cortisol. But I think really until you get help with dealing with the specific event, then I think that's the thing that's probably going to, make the real difference. So I don't know if you've worked with someone in the past, but hopefully that can be helpful for you. So I hope that is helpful, Ellie. Let's have a look. Thank you everyone for being here. Let me just check the comments just to make sure that I haven't missed things. Bev saying, we live in scary times, and you think it's really fed us people with anxieties. It does, I think, and the thing is as well, that when you're trying to deal with anxiety, quite often you can be researching and looking into it, trying to help yourself, and a lot of the websites, a lot of the videos on TikTok and support groups can potentially be quite negative. It kind of can ramp you up. So instead of getting muters, the things that mute the feelings of being in danger, what happens is that you're getting amplifiers, so things that are amplifying, so adrenaline and cortisol they're amplifying how you feel, because you're with people all the time who are saying, oh, the world's a terrible place, everything's going wrong, it's really awful. Well, yes, it probably is in lots of places, but there are also lots of really good things going on, and that's why I want this community to be a muter, to be a place where you get bathed in those feelings of this is a safe place, I feel safe here. And Nadine, you're telling me that you're crying and you're feeling upset, but they're happy tears. It's okay to feel happy tears, to feel, oh, at last I can begin to relax, I can feel accepted and heard by people. So endless talks, that's a really good question. I'll make a note of that. Endless Talks is saying, talking about the shame around anxiety. So I'll make a note of that and I'll come back to that, Endless Talks. But really good point there. Willsey, I'm so glad that you feel safe and relaxed. That's so lovely. And Trish, how lovely. Yes, positive hugs to everyone. So let me go back to the next one. So Alex B, you asked the question, thinking about how to become more confident. I'm not laughing at you. I was seeing there's lots of hugs flying around, which is really lovely. So confidence is a funny thing, isn't it? You know, it's different for everybody. You know, you can get people who look really confident because they're loud and leery, but actually inside themselves they're not that confident. You can get people who are quite quiet, but they're quietly confident. Confidence is something that's different for all of us, and it's about finding our own way of being confident, really. And I would say that I'm a pretty confident person these days, and I think I'm probably quietly confident, you know. I think that is because over time, and I think that confidence can be helped to be achieved and created within ourselves. It's working over time, understanding that we don't have to be perfect, because confidence is not about being brilliant at everything. It's about accepting ourselves, faults and all. I think that if you look at my videos over the last couple of days, I've started to ask people about what are your strengths, and for a lot of people that's very difficult to talk out loud and to share, or even to admit to themselves that they even have strengths. And that, you know, Bev, you're saying there that fear of judgment, fear of failure is why you struggle with confidence. And Jasmine's saying that confidence is definitely a journey, and you're absolutely right. And sometimes there's a shame, isn't there? I mean, you worry about people looking at you and thinking, oh, what's with her? She's so confident, you know, she thinks she's the big I am. And so you're in that constant sort of seesaw of like, oh, I'm feeling confident, but am I too confident? Is someone going to knock me down? They're going to think that I'm too confident in myself. And so it is a journey, and it's about just gradually getting to a place where you feel, okay, I am who I am. I like me. I love me. I know that not everyone is going to like me or love me. And that's okay. That's just their choice, their decision. So how do we get to that place of self-acceptance? I think it's that gradual working on ourselves, gradually bringing ourselves, being kind to ourselves, speaking kindly to ourselves, understanding that when people knock you down, so user 652, when you're saying there about people knocking you down, and people do that, don't they? And it does feel hard to pick yourself up again. But I always think it's important to look at those people who knock us down and think, what's going on there? What is it about you that makes you unkind in that way? You know, it's like people on here. We have totally zero tolerance on here of people who are not kind. And that's, you know, Lynn, 250, Vicky Hodson, Jasmine will block someone who's not kind, because we don't need that. Life is hard enough, and we don't want people knocking other people down. We're all fellow strugglers, and we're all doing our absolute best to sort of get through our days and feel good about ourselves. So it's that journey of self-compassion. And if you're interested in self-compassion, there's someone called Kristen Neff, Kristen with a K. She does some really interesting work on self-compassion. She does TED Talks, and she's got a website about self-compassion. It's self-care, self-management, recognising that we are flawed, that we all have our strengths, but we all have our weaknesses. Look at Brené Brown, for example, and her talk about vulnerability. That's really interesting to look at, to not be afraid to cry, to not be afraid to feel. It's okay to cry, it's okay to feel. And just gradually working on learning and being with the right people, connecting to life, connecting to people who make you feel good about yourself, connecting to yourself, perhaps with using stuff like yoga. And if you don't have the confidence to go to a yoga class, looking at someone like Yoga with Adrienne, who's got stuff online, where you can be completely useless at it, which is what I am, and just begin just connecting with yourself in that way, connecting with nature, beginning to go for a walk, maybe doing something else that you can do for you personally. So Jojo, that's really interesting. You're saying, I'm just starting out in helping women in trauma. Confidence is the first thing I cover. So that's great, isn't it? I think we need to, before we dig deep into, when I work with people, before we start digging deep into stuff, it's about building that sense of self, that sense of kindness and care for ourselves. And as a therapist, I think it's really important that the people I work with feel comfortable with me and feel that I care about them. It's important. So Alex, I don't know if I've really helped massively, but I think it is a journey, and I think that we all can come to a place of confidence. So it's maybe thinking about, what would confidence look like for me? How would I want to feel if I was confident? Is there someone that I know who has a way of being that I would like to model myself on, so I can be a bit of them and a bit of me? So that's quite an interesting thing, to start to be curious about what is confidence to you and how do you start achieving it. So oh, my pleasure, Alex, my pleasure. Thank you for asking the question, because I think it's something that is really important to look at. So Jojo, thank you so much. It's saying that I'm calming. And funnily enough, so you mentioned I should record meditations. If you're interested in that, on my website, which is reachable through my profile, saraharis.com, through my TikTok profile, I do have 3 free, you could call them meditations. I've got 1 loving kindness meditation, and I've got 2 word weaves, which are sort of an example of the work that I do for all of my clients. I write personalised word weaves for them, which is partly relaxation, partly hypnotic suggestion that sort of helps to bring them from where they are now to where they want to be. And so if anyone wants any of those, just you just fill in a little online form, and it's not mechanized. I have to go on and find it and send them to you, but if you're interested, then I do those. So yeah, thank you for saying that I'm calming. That's nice to know. Let's have a look, go through these. Oh, Bev, I'm glad that it's helpful to you. Denise Coppin, it's so nice to see you on here. Welcome, it's lovely. So again, you're saying you struggle to talk to people and you feel that you'll perhaps say something stupid, no confidence in yourself at all. And it's, I think that a lot of us on here will totally understand that way of feeling. And, it's interesting to put yourself in the shoes of someone else, because if I was talking to someone and they said something, I'd never judge them and think that they were stupid. And who of us would? Who of us would look at someone and go, oh, you're stupid? So it's interesting to think that, isn't it? Because if you're made to feel stupid by someone else, then that's more about them than it is about you, because none of us are stupid. we're not stupid, we say stuff, and it's interesting to have that backwards and forwards of conversation with people and to be kind to one another. So, Denise, I really hope that over time you can grow in that belief in yourself, that you do have interesting things to say. I love the fact that you've commented that on here, because I think that will help other people to know that, you feel that way, and a lot of us feel that way. So Lauren, you asked the question about being sick in the morning, and it's before you're travelling, and you're wondering whether it's hunger, whether it's anxiety. So sickness is something that can be felt by lots of people who feel anxious, and it's really interesting that you connect it with that sense of hunger, because often when we're anxious we perhaps don't feel like eating because we feel a bit nauseous. So when we're anxious, one of the symptoms we can feel is a sense of feeling sick, and it can be connected to a couple of things. It can be connected to our change in the way we breathe. It can also be connected to the fact that obviously everything shuts down when we're anxious. It's a protective response, and it's about our nervous system wanting us to survive the current threat that it believes or perceives us to be under. So it might be true that we're under threat, or it might be just perceived that we're under threat. And our nervous system doesn't care whether it's true or not. It would rather throw us into fight or flight, freeze or flop, and have us be safe and survive. It would rather that and get it wrong than take a chance and think, oh, it'll be all right, and it's made a mistake, and actually there is a saber-toothed tiger out there. So it throws us into fight or flight, and when it does that, it changes the nature of our digestive system. So you might get a dry mouth. That's because there's not so much saliva in our system, and also you might start to feel a bit sick. And that's one of the things, because you're not wanting to eat because your digestive system has slowed, because we're in survival mode. So it's interesting, maybe if travel is a thing for you, if travel worries you, then that whole digestive system feeling sick thing is coming into play. So actually eating having a sort of regular way of eating can be helpful for that, because we lose track of what is hungry, what is anxiety, what is feeling full, all of those things. So if you can have something really small, little and often perhaps can be helpful, and even if you can just nibble on something, even if you can have like a mint in your mouth or some chewing gum to get your digestive system going again, or to sort of almost trick your brain into thinking, oh, I'm chewing, therefore I get saliva, therefore I can't be in danger. And then you can think, oh, actually maybe I could manage a biscuit or something like that. I'm not saying that you're going to have like a full English fry up, because that's maybe not what you need. But, something small, something to just be nibbling on to get the digestion going and let your anxiety, your nervous system know you don't need to be anxious. And also lowering the levels of anxiety by using some of the techniques that I share, like the breath techniques, the physical techniques, the visualization techniques. So I hope that helps a little bit. Could also be, sometimes people do report having more anxiety in the morning. Sometimes if your levels of adrenaline and cortisol are already quite high, because you're being triggered into anxiety on a daily basis, then a little tiny peak in cortisol that we get in the mornings can make us kind of tip us over into feeling it more. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let's have a look. Welcome if you're just joining us, or if you have joined us and you've been here for a bit and I've not said anything, then thank you so much for being here. I'm Sarah. I'm a QCH therapist. I work mostly online. I'm based in the UK, in Hertfordshire, which is just north of London. And I do see people face to face sometimes, but it's mostly online. And I have a really wonderful team of moderators here. So I've got Lynn 250, Jasmine and Vicky Hodson, who are all here helping keep this a really safe space and a lovely community. So you are very welcome. I'm just working my way through some questions. So let's have a look. Yeah, so Bev, you're saying your anxiety is always bad in the mornings. It's interesting, isn't it? It's always interesting. It's always helpful to be curious about these things, looking for patterns of behaviour, patterns of what was leading up to me feeling this way. When do I feel worse? When do I feel better? That kind of stuff. It's interesting. Let's have a look. Gosh, I saw something and it's flown by. Let's have a look. So Apple user 322, I have my first ever counselling session on Tuesday. Any tips? So let me make a note of that. I'm going to answer that. I'm just working my way through, so I'm going to answer that. So good question. So it's I'll work my way through that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Thank you very much for all of your lovely roses and things. It's very kind of you, and for the likes, and people following me. I know this is really shallow, but I'm like really close to getting 30,000 followers. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so exciting. I was like amazed when I got to 1,000 followers. I remember coming on here like the very first time I came on, and I was like, oh, I'll do a live. And I didn't realise that you had to have 1,000 followers to do a live. And so I was so embarrassed. I was thinking, oh, what have I done? I'm mortified because I'm just so ignorant of TikTok. And now I'm so close to getting 30,000 followers, and it seems like unbelievable. My son has got like 32,000 followers because he did a couple of videos a long time ago that went viral, and he had like millions of views on his TikToks with him and his lovely girlfriend that he used to go out with. And I always felt, if I can beat him, then that would be really good. So I know it's really shallow, but I'm excited about it. Anyway, let me answer some questions talking about, oh God, that's really shallow, isn't it? Talking about followers and stuff. But anyway, so let me see. So endless talks. You were asking about the shame around feeling anxious and having anxiety, and that's such a Vicky's. Are you laughing at me, Vicky Hodson? That's all right. I can take it. Oh gosh. And Sanshin, Barry, it's really nice to see you. Welcome. So Barry also moderates on here for me. It's so lovely to see you, Barry. So shame around anxiety. I think that it's a really, really good point, because although in society as a whole there's all this talk about, oh, let's all talk about mental health, and let's talk about anxiety, and let's embrace our mental health and all that kind of stuff. When it comes down to reality, then it's not as easy as that. Because if you're off work with anxiety, how many of us actually phone into work and say, I can't come in today because I'm anxious? I think a lot of us would rather phone in and say, oh, I've got sickness and diarrhoea, I've got a bug, I can't come in. Welcome to user 475. I'm sorry, my eyes are terrible. It's really, really lovely to have you here. So I was just talking about the shame around anxiety, and I think that in reality, in the real world, there is a sense of shame. We do feel embarrassed about talking about our mental health when it comes to work and that sort of stuff, and it's really wrong, because there is no need. We all feel anxious at times, and a lot of us, it's very easy to become someone who's actually feeling anxious every day. And you absolutely, so Jan's saying, you should be able to say to your boss, I need a day off because of my mental health, because I'm feeling anxious, because I'm feeling depressed. And it's not the case. So I think that more we can talk about it, and the more people talk about it without shame, talk about it in a way that is open and accepted. So places like this, I think it's really important. I look on TikTok, sometimes I look up sort of hashtag anxiety relief and all this kind of stuff, and there's lots of people that I don't know, trying to make money out of people who've got anxiety, trying to belittle it in lots of ways, trying to do a quick fix for anxiety. And actually, I think that anxiety is a completely natural thing. It's just that when it becomes an everyday thing and it becomes debilitating, we should be able to phone up and say, listen, I feel really anxious. And we shouldn't get to the stage where you've got to phone up and have a day off work. There should be, you should be able to talk about it and say, the work environment here is really, really hard for me. And businesses should want to create an environment where you feel safe. That's the thing. It's about nipping it in the bud. So you're in a safe working environment, not that your working environment is so awful that you have to take time off work. And so Dave Dog, you were saying working from home, that's really interesting. Working from home makes it harder, because when you're anxious, you freeze and you can't achieve as much. And I think that's a really good point. If I'm really honest with you, working from home for me has can feel quite lonely sometimes, and so we need human connection. So if we're working from home, it's really important that we use self-care and that we have self-management in our lives, so that we actually we fulfill the basic human needs that we have. So so Dave Dog, you're saying anxiety disables you. You feel nauseous, shaky, and often you get overwhelmed and stare into space. And I think people can totally get that. People will, And Jasmine also is saying working from home can be very, very lonely. So Graham, so Lynn's saying to you, it's difficult to be honest. I'm assuming that's being honest with work. So Graham's saying, when you're asked, how are you? People often only want to hear that you're okay. And that's so true, isn't it? I was chatting with people today, my peer support group that I meet, who are both therapists, and I was saying, my position as training manager at the Quest Institute, working as a therapist, a lot of the time, I feel like I need to say, everything's fine, I'm really great, I'm really good. But it's not the case. You might have seen the other day that I did a video on here that I was not okay. I was not feeling good because various things were going on. So endless talks. I totally get that. That if me as a therapist, I'm doubting and thinking, should I write this on here? Should not write this? Should I film this video saying that I'm not all right? Then how is that for everyone else? So I think that there is shame around not feeling totally mentally well at times, and we need to work together to be able to talk with one another. And so Graham, when someone says to you, how are you? I suppose it depends, because it has to be the right person, doesn't it? Like if you just meet someone and they go, how are you? And you're like, oh yeah, great, thanks. And because you don't want to reveal necessarily how you're feeling. But if you have the right people around you, it's like my video that I do every day when I say, how are you today? Quite often, people message me privately, or people reply and say, I'm not okay today, I feel really lonely, or I'm in tears, or it's been a really, really hard day for me today. And I'm so grateful that people are brave enough to be honest and say that. And I hope that you can understand, people who follow me. Thank you, Adam, that's very kind of you, sending me roses. I hope you can understand that I genuinely, and I don't know if this sounds, I hope you realise that I'm being genuine, that I care, because I know that a lot of you out there are, you really struggle. You're having a really difficult day, but I want you to know that I'm checking in with you every day, and that this struggle will pass, that you are not alone. And what I think is really helpful is for people to look at the comments of people who are saying, I've started to do what you talk about. I've started to bring self-care into my life every day. And I've started to be able to go out. It's like Nadine, how amazing. Like, if you've been on these lives, you'll know that Nadine is absolutely amazing. And she's been through really hard times, continues to go through really hard times. But recently, Nadine, you've managed to go out. You've managed to go for a short walk and then come back home to safety. And that is amazing. There's other people... oh gosh, your name has escaped me, but the lady that spoke earlier on, right at the beginning, I'm so sorry, I didn't write your name down, but you were saying that you'd been to Spain, like you went travelling and you went to Spain. And I love that. I love that people can talk about the stuff that they've managed to achieve. So it's a positive thing. There's, yes, today I'm really struggling. How can you help me? What can I do? And then in 2 weeks' time, or 3 months' time, or 6 months' time, here I am, I'm back again. And I want you to know that I did the things you said, and I reached out, and I'm seeing a therapist now, and I got self-care in my life, and I'm feeling so much better. So it's that sort of stuff. It's this ongoing community where we help one another and we feed back. And it doesn't have to be always positive, but it's really nice when it can be, because it starts off really negative, and it starts off like, yes, I'm in pain, and then you can see people beginning to be transformed. So hopefully that can also help the shame of it, because no one deserves to feel shame for feeling like a human being, and that's who we all are. We're all human beings, and we all have days where we feel anxious. We all have days where we feel down, where we feel afraid, and it's okay. And if we can share it on here, then that's really wonderful, with the understanding that the more we can share, the more we can begin to help ourselves and be proactive and kind to ourselves, the more we can start to feel better. So I hope that helps a little bit. Endless talks. Let's have a look about some of these comments. Let's have a look. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. So hello, Eva. So Elizabeth, you're saying that you always think that there are better days ahead. And I'm so glad that my videos help you. Isabella, thank you so much for sending me roses. You're very, very kind. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Let's have a look. Oh, Jan or Jan, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. So I'm glad. This is like, yeah, hopefully it is like a support group. So I'm just having a look through some of your comments. And Nadine, imagining that we were all walking with you. That's so cool, isn't it? And you know, that's the thing, that anyone here, you know, if you start to do some of the things that I talk about in my videos, you know, we are all here. Imagine that we're with you. Imagine that I'm with you, that Vicky Hodson, that Jasmine, that Lynn 250, Zanshin, that we're all with you. You know, imagine us with you. And then that gives us strength, doesn't it? And then come back and go, oh, listen, guys, I took you all with me. I went to the gym for the first time today, and I imagined you all with me, encouraging me, because then you can do stuff that it feels difficult if you know that we're all here. Kind of virtually, we've got your back, you know. So, user 475, I brave flying an MRI at 60 years of age. Well done, you. Brilliant. That is amazing. So cool. Isabella, thank you for sharing the live. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Dave Dog and Sam Sketch. Well, thank you for saying that I'm lovely and warm. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's have a look. So, yeah, Denise, so Zanshin, are you talking about just looking at maybe it's self-care or something, or EFT, or I don't know, I'll see that. But, you know, if you're talking about self-care to Denise, about, you know, that's the thing, is that we don't need to do much. It's like we start off with these tiny, tiny little pinpoints of light in our life. And I think of that, for me, like, I'm a really visual person, and it, for me, it's like sometimes life feels very dark. And if we can begin to bring self-care and connection into our lives, it's like little tiny pinpoints, little stars of light that start to come into the darkness. And the more we do, the more we're able to do. And the more we're able to do, the brighter those stars become. And they become more than stars. They become just beautiful splashes of light, where every day we have something to look forward to. We start to feel better about ourselves. So there's a lot we can do just by ourselves. There are some things that require more than that. Sometimes it's, you know, we need to go and see a therapist. But again, that's about finding the right therapist. And don't put up with someone who doesn't feel right to you. So, Heather, it's so lovely to see you. H-Mash, I remember. Heather, who's saying, you're so genuine. That makes your videos and live so important and so helpful. Thank you so much. It really, really is. It really touches my heart when you say that, because it really means a lot to me. That's the reason I went into this. The reason that I went into being a therapist was because my son. I went through my own struggles when I was at university. I was really miserable, and I dropped out after the second year, and there was no one there to help me, and I kind of gradually found my way out of it. My son, when he was 11 or 12, he went through a horrible time with anxiety, and there was no one to help him. And the person we went to see, he eventually got into CAMS, and the person he went to see was just useless. And I know that there are great people that work for CAMS, and it was this one particular person that was not. And I just thought, I have to do something to help. So eventually, I managed to qualify and train as a therapist. And so I'm doing this because I want to help, that younger version of me at uni who needed help, my son who needed help. And so to be able to reach out like this and provide, to do lives, to provide the resources that I provide, all for free. Obviously my therapy, I charge for my therapy, but if I can help, then it matters to me that I can. So thank you, Heather, for that kind comment. Gosh, oh sorry, what have I done there? Jen, I think I've done something to your thing, but I can see I've lost everything in this last year. I'm not sure whether there is any. I don't know what I've done. Hang on, I've pinned your comment. Sorry, I kind of touched it and it's got pinned. I'm not sure, and I didn't see the whole comment. Let's have a look. Just scrolling through. We haven't got much longer left of this live, but I really appreciate you all being here, and I really hope that you'll come again. If you've just joined us, or if you've not been able to see the whole live, then I was saying that on my profile, if you go to the link there on my YouTube, it will be uploaded to my YouTube probably tomorrow. Did you pin that comment? I'm not sure. Yeah, so Jan, let me see. I'll just, hang on. I'm trying to, oh God. Oh, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to see the comment and I can't see the whole comment. Oh, Carrie, it's lovely to see you from Ireland. I hope you're all right. I'm trying to see Jen's comment and I can't see it because I can only see a bit of it, and then I click on it and I've lost everything in this last year. I'm not sure if there's any. Oh God. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jen. Can you pin it again for me, Vicky or Jasmine? Because I can't see the last bit of it. So annoying. I don't want to block you or something. There's any way back for me now. Okay, thank you who's pinned that. I appreciate that. Jen, I really feel for you. It's so hard, isn't it? And it's difficult to sort of without knowing the details of what's going on, and I don't want you to have to reveal that. But Zanshin is right there. So I would say, to start with, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you're chatting on this live, and that you've had the courage to say that, because that's, it's really hard. But Zanshin is right, that maybe if you haven't done so already, to go to your doctor and say, I need help here, and insist that not only, they'll probably say that they want to give you medication, which, that's fine. I'm not medically qualified, so I'm not going to advise on that, but also for you to push and say you need to talk to someone. So that's the first thing. There's also lots of places that you can Google and you can find free therapy, just to have someone to talk through. Places like Mind UK, Anxiety UK, there are lots of charities. So if there's something particularly going on with you, if it's a financial thing that you've lost everything, Step Change and Turn to Us are really good charities, and they have lots of resources and they have helplines. So perhaps you can chat with people like that who can help you. But I think reaching out is the first thing, because there will be a way forward. I think that when we're in a place where we've been through very, very difficult times and we have lost everything, whether that's through bereavement, whether that's through financial difficulties, whether it's through our mental health, struggling with that, whatever the circumstance, it can feel a very dark place, and it can feel almost impossible that there would be a future. And the thing to understand is that this is a temporary thing that you're going through. It might not feel temporary, it might feel completely hopeless and really, really difficult, but please believe me that there will be a way forward, and sharing how you're feeling with someone else will give you a different perspective on it, because at the moment the perspective will be, this is hopeless, there is no way forward, I can't come back from this. But if you are able to reach out to either someone in your real life or to someone on a helpline, perhaps even someone like Samaritans in the UK, that's on 116123, or you can have the Papyrus helpline, Mind UK. There's all sorts of different places you can reach out. Then please do that, because having someone that you trust to talk through what's going on for you can just be the beginning of change for you. So please do that. Don't struggle alone. Yeah. Samaritans is 116123. So the live is going to end. We're sort of gone 5 minutes over. Oh, Carol, thank you. I'm so glad that you've enjoyed it. And I realise that I've not answered one question. There's a question here about tips on your first counselling session. So I'm going to quickly do that and then we'll finish the live. So I really appreciate everyone being here, and my moderators, I'm sorry I'm going over a little bit. I hope that's okay with you. So yes, Jen, do please come back and let us know how you are, and if you've managed to reach out. Isabella, thank you. So this is a quick looking at this question of your first counselling session. So if you've had the courage to reach out and you have got a session coming up, you're meeting with your therapist or your counsellor for the very first time, then you don't really need to do anything. Your counsellor, whatever modality, whether it was someone coming to see me or someone who's going to see whatever modality of therapy it is, they will expect you to feel quite nervous. You might be excited as well, and they will expect you to not really know what to expect. And so the first session, you turn up, and if it's online, then make sure that you've got as good connection as you can. Make sure that your laptop or your tablet or your phone is charged, or it's plugged in whilst you're doing it. And if it's face to face, sort of maybe do a bit of a recce, so you know where the office is, so you know where am I gonna, where's the nearest bus stop, where's the train station, is there parking, all of that kind of stuff, so that you get there a bit early. Go and treat yourself to a coffee in a coffee shop nearby, maybe, so that you're not running late and thinking, oh, I'm really stressed because I'm going to be late. So to do all of that, and then what will happen when you go into your first session is that they'll make a bit of small talk to start with. So I mean, I'll talk about what happens in my first session is have a little bit of small talk, just explain to you what's going to be happening in this session, just to make you feel comfortable, really. Perhaps go through, I have a contract that I send out to people, but also to let the person let you know. A lot of counsellors go through their contract and sort of work through, this is how it's going to work, this is how we contact each other, all of that kind of stuff, the sort of housekeeping of how it's all going to work, and that can be quite helpful. So to do that, and just to let you know that if there's any questions you ever have, anything that you want to ask, then questions are fine. It's a team, that you're working together as a team. And also, I always say this to my clients, that if there's anything that doesn't feel right, let me know, because we need to talk through it. And if there's something that you don't like, if there's something you don't feel comfortable about, let me know about that. Let's talk about that. And I'm the same. I will say to them, if there's something, like if I feel like there's something wrong, or we're not making the change or making the movement that we would hope to make, then I'll raise that with you. So it's a team effort, you know. So if it's your first counselling session, then I hope it goes really well. And expect afterwards to probably feel quite tired, but that's okay, that's normal. And over the following days, your brain is doing a lot of processing. But you don't want to feel really, really rubbish after your sessions. Hopefully the counsellor or the therapist will sort of end it on a relatively high note for you, so you feel good about yourself. It may well be that they ask you to do a little bit of homework, watch a video, keep a journal of some sort, and you know, that's great if they do that. But it's about moving at your pace. That's the important thing. All therapy, it should be about you, moving at your own speed so you feel comfortable. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit as a whistle stop tour. So anyway, so I think let me just have a little look at this. I'm gonna kind of draw things to a close, but let me have a little look at some of the comments. Denise Coppin, I'm so glad that you found it helpful. Thank you for being here. It's really, really nice. San, thank you. I love the way that you always thank everyone else. Team Sarah, you know, Lynn 250, Jasmine, Vicky Hodgson. I love the fact that you appreciate that, you know, the team, Zanshin as well. We're all in this together. So thank you for thanking all of them as well. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Jay, thank you very much. Very kind. Elizabeth, it's been really nice having you here. Carrie, that is so lovely. Thank you. Oh gosh, my eyes have gone blurry. I can't see your name. I think it says Estelzi Perez. Estazy Perez. Thank you. I'm really glad that you've been here. So it's really nice. Gosh, Sophie. So I've seen a few things here about you know, it's hard at the moment. There is waiting lists for people to get therapy, and it's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong that you have to wait, and I'm sorry that you're having to wait. Let's have a look. So we're kind of finishing, so let's have a look. Yeah, Sophie, I feel for you that you've been on the wait list. Keep going, you know, maybe look at some of the free stuff so that you can access therapy maybe in a different way to what you're on the waiting list for, because you can always go back if they I think, I mean, that ethically, I mean, I personally would never work with someone who's already seeing another therapist, but sometimes I will work, if someone's on a waiting list for CAMS, for example, I'll say to them, well, I'll work with you until you get a place with CAMS, because CAMS is free. So, you know, you could maybe look at doing that so you have some support. Oh, Jasmine, you are lovely. Thank you for sending me those lovely daisies. Carol, I am going to keep doing this. I do this every week. The next one is going to be next Friday. I'm going to do next Friday. Oh, Julie Holland. I was talking about Julie earlier because someone was talking about body dysmorphia, and I said to go along and have a look at Julie Holland because she knows more about this than I do. So, yeah, but nice to see you here, Julie. What was I saying? So next Friday, I think I might do, I was thinking of doing 5 o'clock, but I might do 6 o'clock. What are your thoughts on it? Is 6 o'clock that little bit later? Is that better for you all? Let me know in the comments if it's better. So let's have a look. Yeah, San, you're saying 6 o'clock is better. Lynn, that's okay with you. Carrie, roll on next Friday. Yeah, good. I hope to see you. So, oh yeah, user 4756. Isabella says 6. Hannah, hello. Hannah, you say 6 as well. I can't do 7, Elizabeth, but maybe it was 7 for you because you're in Europe, so maybe you're an hour ahead. So it's sort of, okay, let's do 6 o'clock next. It's a date. Let's do 6 o'clock next week. Oh, Vicky, okay, that's cool. That's brilliant. Oh, Nadine, bless you. Thank you for all those lovely roses. Okay. All right, let's do that. Let's make a deal. So next week, I'm gonna write this down. So 6 o'clock next Friday. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll do a little post and I'll set it up as an event. So we'll meet here, same time, same place, next Friday, 6 o'clock. If you've missed this, then as I say, go and have a look at my YouTube. And it'll be recorded on there probably tomorrow now. Probably I'm going to go and have some dinner and have a cosy evening, watch a bit of telly. Huge thanks to my beautiful team of Lynn 250, Vicky Hodson, Jasmine and Sanshin. I'm so grateful. It's just, you've come into my life and created this community with me, and I can't ever thank you enough. Thank you to all of you who've been here on this live. Those of you who have come for the first time and have stayed. Those of you who come every week. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your kindness and your support. And not just your kindness and support to me, but the kindness and support that you give to other people. Because it really makes a difference. And if we can make this a little oasis of care and kindness and information and positivity, then I'm very happy about that. If you're interested in any free resources, go and have a look via my link tree on my profile, because there's loads of free stuff there. It might, if for the downloads, as I say, I send those to you individually by email. So it does take, if it doesn't come straight away, then it will come, I promise, as long as you put your email in correctly. So check your spelling. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend. Look after yourselves. Take care. Talk to people. Reach out for help. Speak kindly to yourself. I'm going to say good evening to you. I always stay just for a couple of minutes just to say goodbye to people individually if you're around. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you next Friday. Oh. Cheerio, Nadine. You take care. San, thank you so much for all your support. Tinkerbell. Hello, I saw you here earlier, Tinkerbell. So have a lovely evening, Jasmine. You take care. How far did you cycle? Jan oh gosh, my eyes. Lekic. Thank you for being here, my lovely. Lynn 250, have a lovely weekend. Hannah, bye for now. Oh, Fred is me. Oh, sorry you missed it too. Come again. Next Friday, 6 o'clock. Be lovely. Carol, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Nadine, bye. Lauren Stubbington, thank you for being here. User 616, thank you. Heather, thank you. User 470, cheerio. Have a lovely evening. Trish, you take care. Sanshin, take care. Cheerio. Big hugs to everyone. Oh gosh. William, thank you. Big hugs to you and Charlie Bear, Nadine. Oh, so Carol, if you want to ask me a question, you feel free to email me. It's through my profile, sarah@saraharis.com. And I will answer you. Cheerio. Amber Kerrison, thank you. Oh, Becky, you take care. I hope you're feeling a bit better now. Cheerio, Denise. 15k. That's pretty good, Jasmine. Well done. Moderating and cycling at the same time. You are amazing. Take care, everyone. Right. I'm just going to stop this now. Thank you for being here. Take care. Ooh.